expecting. We just had our brand new baby's son yesterday. But when we were, I guess his due date was September the 8th, and it was a high-risk pregnancy. We had a miscarriage a year ago. We had a miscarriage, and we were challenged in our faith. But I remember, I thought about it yesterday. We were talking to Pastor, and he told me, he said, I see more children in your future. God has children, you're going to have another seed. And Pastor told us that after the miscarriage, where we conceived, and then we went to the doctor, and I guess, we were excited and all of those things. And then I don't remember the time frame in terms of the months of when the baby, you can see the sex and those type of things. But I remember when we went to find out the sex of the child, there was some concern. He was a little smaller. And so that, they brought in the nurse and the doctor, and they were talking to us about keeping an eye on it. It was still early, so they wanted to monitor. So what ultimately happened, it became to a place where my wife was going to her physician, and then she was going to some specialists, prenatal specialists, and then checking, because his head was growing at the normal rate, but his body wasn't growing. His body wasn't growing at all. And so she started going by, twice a week to the doctors. And so she wasn't really pleased with how the specialist, because it was just a difficult ordeal in general, but then it was like she would go there and they would put on this monitor, because they would monitor the child's heart, and he would have these dips. So I remember one of the first times she went, and they monitored her for about 20 minutes, and his heart dipped a couple of times, so they admitted her over at Richland. So we went over to Richland, and I think they put on a heart monitor for like 2 hours to monitor that. And that was probably 3 or 4 months into the pregnancy. And so that type of thing was happening the whole way. And they were telling us that, telling us about stillborn births, and, we were hearing all these things. And, it was interesting, even some of the doctors, the way that they were speaking, one of the ladies I remember one time we was in there, and she was like, oh, he's just a little tiny little thing, and it's our child. This is our seed. Don't speak those things over. So what happened was, we told Pastor about it, they prayed, and we were believing God he would grow. He would grow, he would grow. So 2 weeks ago, we were going on vacation to Charleston, and so she had one of those meetings she had an appointment. And so she went in, and the doctor said because he was 2 pounds for a long time. He was 2, and then maybe 2.8, 2.10. And so she went, and they told us he was 4'11". So that was like the greatest increase that we saw. Amen. And so we went and had a good vacation. We were emotionally keeping ourselves together. But then we came back, and they told us that no, that we miscalculated. He's really 4'3". He had lost weight. And this was a week ago. And so, we were along the way, confessing, and my wife was believing and I was believing. And to kind of wrap it up, we had the child yesterday, but I just got a text message from my wife, and it says, the physicians just came in and congratulated us on a perfect baby.
Hallelujah! Yeah.
No NICU, depending on how he does today, he should be able to go home tomorrow.
Truth over the facts. Let God show himself strong. And all through their pregnancy, we were praying, and I was just praying. I kept saying, God, I don't care what they say, let the doctors be confounded. Amen. God, you're the giver of all life. You can turn things around. You're a miracle worker. And thank God for doing just that. Amen.